Most of us get identified with our feelings so much that we believe to be the feeling itself. We believe that we are angry, that we are sad, that we are depressed. And this is just like our thoughts when we become so identified with the thoughts. When we become so identified with the feelings, we lose ourselves completely. We've created an identity with that feeling. You can't be angry. You can't be depression. You can't be sad. That's not what you are. What you are is that which observes the experience of anger or depression or sadness or joy. Right? Whatever the feeling, whatever the emotion, you can't be that. You aren't your emotions, just like you aren't your thoughts. Both the thoughts and emotions, they come and go. How can you possibly be something that's coming and going? What is aware of the thoughts that are coming and going? What is aware of the feelings that are coming and going? You must be that awareness that's aware of the feeling that's coming and going. You can't be the feeling. But when we get so identified with that feeling, we completely forget that we are aware of the feeling. Without that awareness, how could there possibly be the feeling that's coming and going? The emotion that's coming and going. Emotion, energy in motion. The energy is coming and going. There's something that is aware of that energy that's coming and going. You're not sad 24/7. You might experience sadness for part of the day, a couple days, a week. But you are not the sadness. You are the awareness, the consciousness that is conscious of the experience of sadness, the experience of anger. You are not anger itself. But often when these feelings, these emotions are coming and going, when we don't know what we really are, we get very identified with the feeling, with the emotion, and we get lost in it. And that's why they feel so overwhelming. Because what you are, compared to that feeling, is much greater. Awareness is infinite. And the emotion of sadness or anger or grief or depression or jealousy or whatever the emotion is, that's just a small experience that's coming and going. It's finite. There's going to be an end of it. It comes and goes. But that which you are is the infinite awareness that's always present, that's prior to the emotion. That's why you can't be the emotion, because you as awareness are aware that there's perhaps no sadness, and then, oh, sadness is coming. Sadness kind of parks itself for a little bit, creates an experience of sadness, and then, I'm not sad anymore. Wow, I was sad for the whole day, but not anymore. Right? So how could you be sadness? When we see clearly from this perspective, when we see clearly from that position of awareness, to see that emotions they're like objects that are coming and going. Emotions, it's like content that's arising in us as the infinite awareness. Then there's this openness, there's this spaciousness, there's this freedom, right? This expansiveness. Because that's what happens is when we identify with the feeling, awareness, infinite awareness contracts. And it feels kind of like it's suffocating. It feels itself to be so small. And sometimes the feeling seems so much bigger than what we are, because we identify ourselves as something so small. That we get identified as a feeling. We get identified as a body. We get identified as a mind. What you actually are is infinite awareness, infinite consciousness. Without that awareness, how would you be aware that there's a feeling of sadness that you are experiencing? You aren't sadness. You are what experiences sadness. You're even aware of the experience of the body while the sadness is being experienced. The experience of crying is also an experience that you are aware of as awareness. Just like anger. And you're also aware of angry thoughts or a racing mind, tightness in the chest and the body, feeling like your blood is boiling. That's why you're not the body either, and you're not the mind, because those are changing. The states of the body, the conditions of the body, they're always changing. But that which you are does not change and is always aware. Without that reference of something that is permanent, that is not changing, how would you know what is actually changing? If everything is changing, how would you know that things are coming and going? There must be something that is just still, stationary, permanent. Just like if you were to sit in your window and watch people on the sidewalk outside your house come and go. Because you are still and stationary, that's why you're able to see people come and go. And the people coming and going is a lot like emotions. They come, they might stand in front of your house, chit-chat, wave at you, and then see you later, wave and go by. Right? They're coming and going. You only know that they're coming and going because you're there before them. You're still. And the feeling is an activity, it's a movement that's happening in you as that stillness. The stillness that is the awareness, the consciousness that is conscious of the feeling. Ask yourself, is the feeling aware of you, or are you aware of the feeling? You're beyond the feeling. You aren't the feeling. Feelings are something that you experience. You as in awareness. It's an experience that happens in you as awareness. Awareness is aware of the experience of sadness or depression or anger or jealousy or grief or shame, whatever the emotional experience is. Know that you are aware of that experience. And when this is seen very clearly, like I said, there's an opening, a relief, an expansion. Because when we get so, awareness gets so identified with the feeling, with a thought, with the body, with the mind, it's a contraction. And when you're contracted, you feel small. And when you feel small, that's why the emotions, they feel so big, overwhelming. But when you see it like this, and you start realizing that you're this infinite space that the feelings are arising in, that the feelings and emotions are coming and going in you as the infinite awareness with no borders, no boundaries, no limits, that's ever present, eternal, then you see that the emotion, it's bound by time. There's going to be a start and an end to it. It's finite. It's limited. But that which you are is unlimited. It's the unlimited that's aware of the limited. It's the timeless that's aware of the time. You're beyond your feelings. That's why you're aware of them coming and going. That's why you can kind of see them coming, perceiving them. Oh yeah, there's this anger kind of building up in me, right? It's arising. This anger is kind of building up in me, right? It's not just building up in you as the body, because even the body's changing. As the anger arises, there's changes in the body that are being experienced. So the bodily changes are also happening in you as awareness. And the changes to the mind, the racing thoughts, the rage, the stress, the inability to think clearly. Clearly, you're losing the clarity when someone is angry. They can't think clear. All those are experiences, each one. The emotion coming, the change in the body, the change in the mind. Now, perhaps we can't see them all individually like this, and it's just one big experience. But even that one big experience, what is aware? Are you aware of the experience, or is the experience aware of you? Was the experience there the entire time, or did it seem to arise? What is aware of the experience arising? You. That means that you're there prior to the experience. And all experiences are different, and they come and go. They're impermanent. But there must be something permanent that is aware of the impermanent experience that arises. There must be something that is changeless, that is aware of the changing experiences that come and go, that are bound by time. There's a start and an end. Anything in time has a starting and an end. But time is experienced in you. You are aware of time. Time isn't aware of you because you are beyond time. You are timeless. Infinite awareness, pure consciousness is timeless. So next time when you feel that emotion, that feeling arise, see it. See it that it's arising in you as the awareness, that you are aware. See the changes of the body. See the changes of the mind. See it all as a big experience that you as awareness are actually untouched by. Any experience does not touch awareness. Awareness is experience. It experiences all the experiences that come and go, yet it's untouched by it. So find yourself as that vast, spacious awareness without limits and borders and boundaries that's untouched by the feelings, and just simply be with the feeling. You as awareness, just be with the feeling. When we feel like we are that feeling and identify with that feeling, then yeah, I don't want to be sad. Who wants to be sad? Right? That you're actually being sad. Like sadness is this big costume, this identity. Who wants to dress up as sadness? Nobody. And when that is the idea that we have in our mind, then we kind of, I don't want to be sad today. No way. Put that costume somewhere in the back of the closet. I don't want to be sad, right? We want to push it away. We want to resist it. We don't want to feel it. And that's what just kind of suppresses it and stores up that sadness. Because all emotions, all feelings arise in us to be felt fully, meaning experienced fully. And when we don't want to experience our feelings because we're so frightened by them, afraid of them, because they feel overwhelming, but they only feel overwhelming because we're identifying as either the body or the mind or the feeling itself, where it feels so big. I'm just this tiny body, and this feeling of sadness, it feels like it's 5 feet tall, surrounding me. That's not, look at it for yourself. That's not how it is. Is sadness outside of you? No. Is sadness in you? Yes. When it arises, the experience of sadness is within you. When the body is changing because of sadness, tears, right? A sad face, can't think clearly, sad thoughts. Aren't those experiences of the body and the mind? Aren't those where's that experience happening? Isn't it happening in you? Isn't the experience of the body? Isn't it happening in your awareness? Is it outside of your awareness? No. It's in your awareness. It's in your awareness because you're aware of it. Anything that you're aware of is because it's in your awareness. If you're not aware of it, then you'd say, it's out of my awareness. But it's in your awareness. So then this changes. This changes because you're no longer seeing it from the perspective of a body or the perspective of the feeling itself, right? But now this infinite space. It's like a infinite borderless container. And the contents, let's say today, is gloomy with a chance of sadness, right? And just like the sky, that's like awareness, an infinite sky. It doesn't try and resist storm clouds, rain clouds from coming. The sky doesn't say, I see they called for rain today. I don't want to experience the rain today. No, the sky simply accepts. It's with the rain, right? Be with your feelings. Right? The sky experiences the rain clouds, the storm clouds. the thunder and the lightning, the whole experience. But is the sky actually touched by the storms? No. And just like that, as infinite awareness, which you aren't touched by any of these feelings and emotions. They're for you to experience fully. It's just like a movie screen. The screen of the movie is transparent. That is what awareness is. It's transparent. It's like it's always here. It is. Not it's always like. It is. It's here. Without it, this experience is not possible. Just like without the screen, the movie is not possible. But whatever happens in the movie, it never touches the screen. When there's fires in the movie, the screen doesn't melt. When there's flooding in the movie, the screen doesn't get wet. You are that screen of awareness. The screen is aware of the movie. The screen is aware of the contents of the movie. But when we get identified as the character in the movie, then whatever's going on in the movies tends to feel very overwhelming. But as soon as we realize, we're the screen, there's this, again, expansion from just a tiny little character, a couple little pixels on the screen, to then the screen itself, the reality of the movie. Without the screen of awareness, there could be no movie. There could be no experience of the movie. Just like that, without awareness, there could be no experience of life. And when this is realized, all emotions, good or bad, are simply accepted, allowed, and felt fully. And when you start feeling your emotions fully, you don't suppress them anymore. You don't resist them anymore. Because whatever you resist persists. Whenever you resist sadness, resist anger, resist grief, whatever it is, it just kind of pops up again. It's popping up again. It's arising again to be felt. But if you kind of go like this, I don't want to feel it today, it kind of comes up the next day. It says, hey, you want to feel me? Do you want to experience me? You didn't even experience me last time. Come on. And you go, no, not today. I'm kind of afraid of you. Can you just kind of get back in the closet, or can you go away? There's nowhere for it to go. It needs to be experienced fully. So when that realization happens, when there's when there's that shift from experiencing the feelings as a small body, or experiencing the feelings as just another experience to be experienced in you, infinite awareness, then there's not this feeling of overwhelm and fear. We're not afraid of our emotions. We welcome the emotions the same way as the sky simply just is open, accepting, allowing, and welcoming white, fluffy clouds or dark storm clouds. Because there's this knowingness. It doesn't matter. The sky is neutral. Whatever positive clouds or negative clouds want to come past through it, it doesn't matter. Because the sky is neutral, and the sky is beyond the clouds. The clouds are passing through the sky, yet the sky is untouched by the clouds and whatever weather they bring. Right? The sky is untouched by weather. Whatever the weather is, the sky is untouched by it. And emotions are a lot like the weather. It's always changing. And there's a new experience every day. So experience it as awareness. Because that's what you are.